World Financial Group offers entrepreneurs from all backgrounds the opportunity to start their own business on a level playing field. Dr. Yana Woodhouse, receiving the WCM Wall Street Pioneer Award by the United Black Wall Street of America, Inc., is one of those entrepreneurs.
I see WFG and TFA as a place where African Americans with an entrepreneurial mindset can flourish. And the bonus, we help families and serve the communities across the country.
To learn more about us, go to worldfinancialgroup.com.
We are the sons and daughters of the soul. We are resilient and forever forward-thinking. We ask for nothing else than the opportunity to live and to create the lives that we were meant to live. We want nothing but an equal chance at options and possibilities. The same possibilities and options to live out our potential as our fellow man. We want to be heard, understood, and expressive in our reality. We are the future. We are the creative. We are here.
This is Kia Rogers, and you're listening to Urbanology with my dad, Tony Rogers, on WHCR 90.3 FM New York.
Good afternoon. This is Tony Rogers, your host for Urbanology, the Art of War. And for those who are new to the show, my birth name is William Anthony Rogers. And for many years, and I still study, but I taught the Sun Tzu version of the Art of War and the book of strategy. So this is somewhat of a play on words, the art of WAR. So just for those who want to understand how Urbanology, the Art of War, came about. Nevertheless, we're in summer. I know that some people prefer for it to be a little cooler, but I'd rather for it to be 90 than 9. And I'm a Juneteenth baby, so the heat does not bother me. You know, the humidity can be a little rough, but I love the outdoors. And of course, the great thing about summer is that we can get out now, because for 2 years we were kind of in a lockdown. But this year probably will be the first year that people are feeling a lot more free in actually going out and doing things, tours and the like. Harlem Week is right around the corner. Matter of fact, there's an event, the hackathon, which will take place at City College this Thursday. It'll air online on the Harlem Week page on the 15th of August. But today, I have the honor of interviewing a brother that I met at the Harlem Tourism Board Mixer last Saturday. Very interesting gentleman who has been in entertainment for a long period of time. We'll talk a little bit about that. but has a business, the Club Kart Tours, that uh, is something that will make tourism a lot more interesting as it relates to how we get around. Rather than walking, you can ride, and it's not a guy pedaling. It's a motor vehicle, but it's a upscale, I guess, golf cart. I don't know whether or not that's the way he would put it, but I'm going to let him give you that information. So I'd like for you to please give a warm welcome to Kevin Davis, CEO of Club. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me, sir.
It's a pleasure. It's good to let the world know about how you're doing and what you're doing, actually.
Yes, sir.
I had a brief conversation with you before we went live, and I've learned that you are an entertainer and left the stage for a different type of a stage. Stage. So
Yes,
tell
sir.
us a little bit about yourself, Kevin, and lead us into where you are now.
Okay, so I would consider myself a professional singer. I sing backup for Orange Juice Jones, good friend and brother of mine.
Uh-huh.
And then I started a company called Club Kart Tours, using electric golf carts. And I must say, I could not have done this without connecting the dots worldwide. I gave them my business plan. They loved the idea, and we went right into action, getting this project up and running. From being from Harlem, I see the walking tours all the time,
Right.
and it kind of piqued my interest. And then once I found out, what was taking place as far as, you're taking total strangers to historic sites in Harlem, and you're teaching them about our history, from which a lot I had no idea about until I got into this. And I started learning, certain people were involved in the movement for Black people, and the more I learned, the more I was inspired to create Club Kart Tours. I wanted to put more smiles on faces in a shorter period of time when they took these tours. So I came up with the idea to use golf carts, and I'm the first one, I can say, in New York City to bring golf carts to New York City.
Now, you probably had to go through a lot of bureaucracy in order to get on this.
Two years of bureaucracy.
To get lights. Now, are you the first to do this, Kevin?
Yes, sir, I am. I have the first contract and policy ever written to use electric golf carts in New York City.
My goodness. And how did you manage to swim through all of that red tape? Because being a brother talking about putting a golf cart in the city, that's an interesting concept. However, for some people, almost reminds me when we started Harlem Week. We were talking about closing off all these streets. People were looking at us. So we had some political clout. You must have had to have a rabbi or somebody to help walk you through that based on your concept. How did that go?
So it all started when they incorporated the electric vehicles, the e-bikes, and those electrical scooters.
Right.
That was the gateway for me to incorporate the electric golf carts. One of the reasons why, it's eco-friendly. It's great for the environment. We're not burning up any gas.
Right.
And we also support local businesses. We can get to more businesses in golf carts than we can walking. So I ran a gauntlet, to get my license. I had to learn certain issues, certain state laws, I won't use the word manipulate, but I made it work in my favor.
Right.
Lots of research.
What type of license do you have to drive one of your vehicles?
So the 6 passengers, you just need a regular state license. For the 8 passengers, you need a Class E, which is chauffeur's license.
I see. Okay.
And I have both.
Right.
Then comes the insurance.
Mhm.
You have to get $1 million policy, which I have.
Okay. And I'm thinking, when you are on the tour, you have to have a driver and I suppose a tour guide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
The driver
yes.
has to remain at the vehicle.
Yes.
The tour guide does this little spill, and then you hop back on and go to your next location.
Yes. Also, like if you see the tours that take place at Central Park, the people who are giving the tours, honestly, with no disrespect to my brothers and sisters, they look kind of rough. So that they look like once they take the cart around the corner, you're gonna get jacked for your stuff. So that gave me the idea that we should look professional in what we're doing, which is why I came up with the ideas for the sun visors, and the golf shirts, henceforth golf carts, and all together we get a hole in one.
That's very interesting. Now, I know as we talked, you're a member of the Harlem Tourism Board, which is great because
yes, sir. Happy to be aboard.
That allows for many of the things that we do with the tourism board to have it will complement, I would say.
Yes, sir.
And during Harlem Week, being at one point you are or will be a member of the Greater Harlem Chamber, which allows for you to do a little bit of things with Harlem Week. We haven't figured out what that is, but I can think of a number of things that right now I'm not sure how the planning is, but I know there are going to be events. And I believe the 13th is the first event where there are different events all over. There's, and it may be interesting to create this type of structure that allow for people like the Harlem Weeks or the other types of activities that take place in many different parts of the community to have kind of like a Harlem shuttle, a Harlem,
Absolutely. Listen, I'm all for that, man. I think that would be a great idea. Incorporating the electric golf carts in New York City is moving the tourism business in New York City into the future.
Now, have you become a member of NYC and Company as of yet? Are you familiar with NYC and Company?
Am I a member? Yes, I am. No, sorry, I am not. Klub Kart Tours is independent. We look to reach out to NYC and see if they're willing to partner up with us.
Well, actually, what NYC is it's a membership organization for the hospitality industry. They are the marketing component for New York City.
Okay.
So they're, it's a not-for-profit, but they are the entity that used by New York City to market it.
Yes, sir.
All of the tourism-related stuff, the restaurant week and many of the different events that take place in the city. NYC is as a component of it. But we'll talk about that. It's what you're doing. The more people who know about it, obviously, the better it is. And entities like that, because I know that you're going to be doing a citywide thing, Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens.
Yes, sir. We look to take over Manhattan and then all the rest of the boroughs, and then worldwide. I look to have carts at all the resorts in the in the Bahamas or in the Caribbean.
And maybe even in Africa, we're doing some.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, yeah,
We're
yes.
starting to do a number of things with Senegal and Ghana, so that's another component. But yeah, there are so many. Yeah, I have to give it to you, brother. You are a visionary because there's so many different types of ways that this could work. Especially in Harlem, there are a number of things that are taking place there. Now, you have to be in the street. Is there a certain type of I think you got about 20 miles an hour or so. Is
Yeah,
there
yeah. So,
the regulations?
yeah. So the golf carts are considered low speed vehicles,
Right,
LSVs, and maximum speed is the street city limits, which is 25 miles per hour.
right. Okay, that's that's great. And when did you start the process? When did you start putting carts on the street? What type of response have you received?
So, honestly, riding down the street in a golf cart is like riding down in an exotic sports car. Everyone looks at you, they wave, they smile, give you the thumbs up. And in certain areas you put the music on, and it's like everyone's like falls into a trance.
Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. The music, I can see now whether it's the different parades,
Yes, sir. Yes.
especially up here, and then I know that the 125th Street bid has a special program in lighting all of
Yes.
with that. So there's a lot of stuff, man. Uh,
Hey,
enough
listen.
to keep you busy. I see now why you can't do your entertainment stuff because there's enough stuff here to keep you busy. How do you work in the winter though?
So, also on that topic, I had an idea to incorporate both. So, I can get in touch with a couple of R&B singers, and then we'll have couples, and we'll have the R&B singer on the cart, because we have the microphone set up, and we can ride around in the carts, and that actual R&B singer will be singing while the couple's sitting in the back. What do you think about that one?
Wow, I can see that you have. I know that you're a friend of my partner here, Matt McCoy, who always has these ideas. I guess you guys birds of a feather work together because I'm sure as things start to progress, there'll be so many other types of things that you might look at doing. We'll do this more than once, but how can people get in contact with you? How can they see your vehicles? How does that work?
Yes, so you can go to our website, clubkarttours.com,
Uh,
and you'll see the way we operate, what we offer. We're professional. We give the courtesy. Our attire is up to par, and we look just to give you the best experience you ever had. We want that lasting smile on your face.
Now, you can take up to 8 people, which is really 6 because you have your tour guide and the.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do you have an occasion of the ability maybe to have 2 carts going at the same time if there's more people?
Yes, the idea of the more people that book for a tour, the more carts we'll have. For instance, if there's a group or party of 20 or more, which means we'll have 3 or 4 carts rolling in a convoy.
Right.
And I got to tell you, that's an awesome sight, man.
I'm sure that is.
That's an awesome sight, man. Yeah, yes,
sure
it is.
People will notice, and that's also a good parade concept as far as the African American Day Parade and West Indian Day Parade in Brooklyn, and many of the different types of things that take place. Because I can see how you now. Do you have, for instance, if a sponsor wants to, for instance, one
Um,
of the parades, do you have ways that they can put their
yes.
marketing materials on the cart?
Yeah, yes, sir, we do. So on the card itself, there's 15 points of advertisement, including the roof. We also incorporated those cones that you put on top of the roofs
Mhm.
to advertise other companies, as well as for that platinum package sponsorship. We will wrap the vehicle in that company's logo. For instance, Coca-Cola, we're in talks with them right now, or Pepsi, and we'll wrap the cart in that Pepsi or Coca-Cola emblem.
Interesting, interesting. And what is this a seasonal business? I mean, once it gets cold, it's going to be hard to do that stuff, right?
So what we did at Club Car Tours, we incorporated heaters for when it gets cold, and we also have raincoats for the carts. The plastic see-through rain carts that come down on the side, and when you put the heater on, everyone's nice, comfy, and cozy. After each tour, we do a wipe down, COVID wipe down, make sure everyone's kept healthy, so to speak.
Mhm.
And yeah, so we extended the season with the heaters and the raincoats for the carts.
Mhm.
So we'll
Well,
be able to take you around in the wintertime during the holidays, Thanksgiving through New Year's.
mhm. Okay. Well, again, now, how many carts do you have in operation now?
So as of right now, we have 2 carts in operation and climbing.
Mhm. All right. And so I suppose there's a waiting list for people, or will be, as it relates to
Yeah,
try
yeah,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
your
yeah.
attention, huh? Which
So
is a
so what? I'm sorry.
good thing. Which is a good
Yes,
thing.
absolutely, absolutely. Yes, 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 yes. And the waiting list, we won't keep you waiting long. The more people that reserve tickets for the ride, the more carts I'll have. We
Mm.
also have the wheelchair accessible carts as well. So those who are disabled, we want to take you on a tour as well.
Well, that sounds that I'm everything that I'm thinking about you've already started doing it. So your business plan must have really been a good one as relates to mapping out the different types of things that might take
Yes,
place.
sir.
Where is your base? Your
So as of right now, Club Car Tours is based out of Harlem,
Mhm.
set in the 130s.
Right.
In the near future, we'll have our own facility with the parking lot. We'll have our own hub to operate from.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And so there's an office in Harlem.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
Uh-huh.
sir.
I see. But your plan is to have a location where you have your carts parked,
Yes,
and
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Also, we're providing great job opportunities for drivers and licensed tour guides.
which I'm sure through the Harlem Tourism Board we can be helpful for that. And also, uh, uh, just again, the NYCN company, they are an interesting group, but their networking is probably the most important thing because throughout the city, they do different types of workshops and seminars. Actually, it was NYCN company that
Yes, sir.
uh, realized because they do a lot of the data collection. And
Yes. Yes, sir. Yes,
Harlem,
sir. Yes.
Harlem goes between number 1 and number 3 as to the most requested sites for visitors outside of the country coming in to New York, which
Yes,
is
sir. Yes, sir.
why when they do training, a lot of times they may do training for the Queens, but in Manhattan they'll do something specially for Harlem because a lot of people want to come to Harlem. which is
Yes.
evident based on when you look around. Where do you want to go? I know you talked about going all over the world, but what's your next focus as relates to?
So, after taking club car tours around the world, my next big project would be mobile hotels.
Mobile hotels. Now that sounds like a really interesting conversation for a lot of interesting reasons. But a mobile hotel.
Yeah, imagine taking your hotel room with you wherever you go.
I have to talk with you because that's kind of hard for me to imagine. That may be a little cumbersome, but I'm sure that you have developed, something that allows for that, to take place. But that's interesting. I remember, and I know that you were telling me about a project that I thought was very interesting, that you had developed the script for it. So you're also a writer.
Yes, sir, I am.
And we were discussing this whole issue about where hockey originated.
Yes, sir.
And you wrote a piece about that as
Yes, sir, I did. Yes, sir, I did.
And I don't want you to, give out any of your information that you don't want to get out there until it's there. But is there anything you can share with that? Because I think it's a very interesting conversation that most people have no idea.
Yes. Okay. So, hockey was invented in Nova Scotia, Canada, back in 1849 by slaves and former slaves. There once existed a colored hockey league that didn't get the attention that it deserved. The NHL was created. The colored hockey league disappeared because most people paid attention to the NHL because they had the money. But a lot of the accolades were taken from the colored hockey league. So I took all of that information and I wrote a script titled Black Ice, A Warm Chill. And I sent it to a few people, got great responses. In fact, there's a documentary being done on that same title right now.
And it's funny when you were telling me that I could see some people saying, "Damn, now they got hockey," which was always ours.
Exactly.
Anyway, I saw a documentary on that, which was amazing because when you talk about hockey, when you see a black player, it's like, wow, there's a black guy playing hockey, which is something that is really a surprising thought pattern since, as you indicated, the game was started by slaves. And
yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's predominantly a white sport now that we created.
That's interesting. I'm sure, as in baseball, as in football, as in basketball, these are things that
truth comes to light.
Yeah, that's why people go out and vote for Trump, because they want to make America great again. It was great upon our backs, actually.
Exactly.
But that's very interesting. That probably would be a very interesting book. I'm sure that you might. Well, you did the screenplay. You might want to. I'm sure, based on talking to you now, you probably have already thought about that. But that would be a great book to actually go, even though certain, with this new educational limitation.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
They're trying to take away everything that we did and created.
Yeah.
I was reading they are trying to rename slavery to forceful relocation, something like that.
Yeah, it goes back to what Donald Trump was trying to use, that alternative truth.
But Kevin, your idea with this Kart tours is a very innovative one.
Thank
I
you, sir.
see how it can be helpful to a lot of people in the hospitality area. And the other thing is, even with the new hotel that's coming up, the Marriott Renaissance Marriott, I can see a lot of stuff happening as a relationship or partnership or some sort of
Yes,
workforce,
sir. Yes, sir.
because that fits into some of the things that allow for people to want to come to Harlem. But there's so many things. Harlem, when you look at the community floors 9, 10, 11, and 12, it is probably now it's even larger. But when we were working on the empowerment zone document, we realized that Harlem was like the 12th or 13th largest city based on population then
Yes.
country. so, larger than Seattle, Washington.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of people just think it's 125th Street, but it encompasses their four community boards, 9, 10, 11, and 12. That's why with the chamber, it was the Uptown Chamber, and then it became the Greater Harlem Chamber of Commerce. Because when you look at the Greater Harlem area,
Yes, sir.
business in the Greater Harlem area is, to survive, because it's like a business opening up in Seattle, Washington, or some of the smaller towns.
Yes, 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 yes.
That type of research is what brought a lot of the companies into Harlem.
Yeah.
And not only the population is as big, but the people who are moving in and out of there, the colleges and the universities. There's no other community that has as many institutions of higher learning as it is in Harlem. So yes, which is another thing too, the universities.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yes,
The
yes.
Columbia University, that's an interesting concept that can work with them as they expand.
Yes. Yes, sir.
And they have 30 years of expansion still to go, especially around
Yes, 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 sir. Yes, sir.
So that's another opportunity that may arise in some near future, because that can be helpful.
Yes, sir.
That can be
Yes, sir.
So,
and might I just add, joining the Harlem Tourism Board was the best thing I could have ever done. Starting this Klub Kart Tours endeavor. With you guys' guidance and experience, can't go wrong.
Well, appreciate that. It's one of the things the tourism board is really structured to allow for the concept, the hospitality concept, to have almost like the hockey league.
Yes.
If you don't talk and let people know, the foundation, it becomes something else.
Absolutely.
And one of the great things about Soul City, for instance, a lot of the things, I think, my program and other programs, but I can speak for mine, for the 2 or 3 years, it has been a documentation of stuff that years from now people can't claim. You know, because you
Absolutely.
know
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
it goes. The last man standing tells the story.
Absolutely. And how the saying goes, we don't have to do it all, but we can be the first ones.
Right. I mean, this Columbus discovered Indians or indigenous people. Matter of fact, I have a friend who said, "I'm glad he wasn't going to Turkey because he thought he was going to India. That's why he called them Indians. If he was trying to go to Turkey, they would have been turkeys, you know."
Yeah.
But history is very interesting. I'm glad to be able to record this somewhat historic conversation because in time to come, I'm sure that based on talking to you and based on your background, based on your ideas and your concepts, there's a lot more that will be talked about as far as the things that you do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As far as the marketing, there's some other ideas based on being with uh, the Harlem Tourism Board. And I must also say the Great Harlem Chamber. Matter of fact, this uh, conversation will be on both websites, the Harlem Tourism Board's website and the Great Harlem Chamber of Commerce website, which is really the foundation of Harlem. Harlem came out of the and that's what's necessary now. We have the ability to communicate, to, as Matt always says, to control our narrative and to allow for people like yourself to have that audience. We have thousands of people now looking at some of the things we're doing, which
Yes,
is
sir.
other ideas, as well as what we are starting to do with the Harlem Tourism Board is start looking at the different other tourism organizations throughout the country and
Yes, sir.
collaborating. And one of the things that we still have, even though sometimes you might not recognize it, is that, well, I say Harlem is still the Black cultural capital of the world, you know, because you know, you walk down the street, you don't know where you are. But nevertheless, that's all part of growth, I suppose. I remember in 1974 when we started Harlem Week, 125th Street was boarded up. I mean, it was hardly nobody there. Anybody was in the
Yeah.
store, people sleeping in the stores. You know, there was a liquor store on every other corner. Now there's a bank on every other corner, and you don't have to go downtown. Downtown is uptown.
Yeah, exactly.
Years ago, if someone had talked about a golf cart company coming behind a CEO who's Black, talking about taking people on tours, they would have scratched their head and wonder what you're doing out there. But it's a pleasure to be able to meet you. And one of the things that I've always learned from my elders, people who have been doing this for some time, it's the personality and the energy that makes a business. A lot of people don't understand that, but you're coming into a certain type of a structure like this, entertainment to a degree, you know, because the managers have to have a certain type of a mannerism. The entertainers probably don't, but especially in hospitality, that's the whole understanding of hospitality.
Yes.
Is, you know, are you a person that people would like to do business with based on your personality? And since I've met you, your smile and your personality allowed me to understand that first you've been around the block a couple of times.
Yeah, yes, sir, I have.
But that you have a certain type of energy, Kevin, that makes people want to work with you because you don't get that feeling that there's something other than what you're saying that may be there. And sometimes people, for whatever their reasons are, don't always give that type of openness and kindness.
Yeah. Well, you know what my mother taught me a long time ago. She says, a lie grows, and you're gonna have to remember it. But if you tell the truth, you don't have to. I speak from my heart and nowhere else. That way, I don't have to worry about what I said because I speak from my heart, and it's always written on the tablet.
When you was in the entertainment business, you tell me just a little bit about some of the things that allow for you to feel, wow, this is something that I'm happy to be doing.
So for one, you can rehearse and practice before it's time to get up in front of the audience, and it's like within that 60 seconds before it's time to perform, you have to tell yourself it's a rehearsed act, and you stick to the script. Once you get up there, it's an adrenaline rush. It's a joy to entertain people. It gives you a certain power. The power of putting a smile on a person's face is just priceless. And that's what I personally want to be remembered for. Putting a smile on a person's face. It's easy to destroy. To be great, you got to learn how to build up, and that's my philosophy on life.
How did you get into the entertainment business?
My mother sang all, growing up, I used to listen to my mother sing. She played all the OJ albums and Luther Vandross and all of that. And she would sing and I would sing. And come to find out, when I sang, I had a nice voice. And, we're our worst critics. I didn't think I sounded good. And everyone who listened said, man, you got a voice. You got to pursue that. And I did. And then the benefits were just, when it came to women, you got to, you get your phone numbers at the end of the night, and then the money's good sometimes.
Where are some of the venues that you perform?
So I was hosting karaoke at a bar called Coogan's in Washington Heights with Dave Hunt and Peter Walsh.
Right.
And my stage name was Taz. And, I did the woo-woo-wooing and it worked. And then from there, I got invited to sing backup with a couple professional artists. Orange Juice Jones is one. I saw you.
We have some younger people here. They probably have heard a lot of his samplings in records.
Yes.
A little bit about Orange Juice Jones and some of his hits.
Yes. So his number one hit, and I believe he received a Grammy for it, was "Walking in the Rain." And he was one of the first ones to start that slick talking, not gangster. I don't want to say pimp talking, but just that smooth talk back to a lady, because all the songs were about ladies just bashing men or coming down on men. And then he came back with the one where I caught you cheating, and everything I bought you, I'm taking it on back with you. He was a hero for a lot of men with that song.
Well, again, a lot of people now say that the music is not the way it used to be, that the stories in the songs are not necessarily the way they used to be. But that's because the people who control the gatekeepers only accept certain type of music.
Yes.
You might want to do something that's a little bit more creative, or a little bit less violent, but for the gatekeepers, that's not selling.
Right.
Which is hard.
Well, music is a timepiece. When someone creates music, they capture a place in time, and they also capture an emotion. Certain songs come out during certain generations which reflect what's going on, during that time period in life. The 80s and the 90s were a lot of the love songs because we strived hard as a people to get where we're at, even though we have a much longer road ahead of us. But that was that period where everyone just wanted to be, in love, love someone, be loved back. Now it's kind of angry.
Love yourself. Yeah. Well, it's interesting that you say that. Some of the musical themes for Halloween is the Ageless Marvin Gaye "What's Going On" album. Save the Children, Mercy, Mercy Me, and that album is a classic because a lot of the things, if you listen to that album, it's almost like he made it a couple of months ago.
Right. Yeah. Yes.
So there's certain music that and certain lyrics, even though they may be 50 years old or 30 or 40 years old, if it's done in a certain way, you capture the same type of feeling as you indicated and the same type of
yes, absolutely. Yes.
so that's I suppose that's the wonderful thing about being an entertainer. And what you were saying based on what your what you wanted to do as far as making someone smile gives a lot of light on what you're doing now, because
Yes, sir. Yeah.
is a way of doing that. So it creates that type of synergy. Now, do you have who in the company? Do you have local people where your partners, your relationship with the company administrator? I know you're located in Harlem at this particular time,
Yeah.
but you can't do all of this by yourself, I'm sure. So,
No.
who are some of the people that you can shout out to that help you get to
Yes.
where you are?
I want to give a big shout out to Connecting the Dots Worldwide. I could not have been here had it not been for Connecting the Dots Worldwide.
Mhm.
And the greatest shout out goes to the man above, because had it not been for the insight and vision that was given unto me, I would not be on this show right now.
Right. All things happen for a reason. No such
Yes,
thing
sir.
as
Yes, sir. Yes,
coincidence.
sir.
And whatever we've done from the time we came onto the earth until this time
Yes, sir.
allows you
Yes, sir.
to be here. The relationships, the meetings, and the things that we need to do, which is always something that people don't always understand. But this, there is a master plan in a sense.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
And
And it's a blessing to be a part of it.
yeah, that's the whole thing. If you can tune into the rhythm or the frequency of that plan,
Well said. Yes.
It's just when you try to swim upstream, it's hard because you're going against the flow. And no matter how far you go, as soon as you get tired, it's going to take you right back.
That's right. And it's written, how you going to grow weary walking with the foot soldiers when you got to run with the horses?
Well,
in our case, ride with the carts.
Ride with the cart. So I'm sure now we're going to see this cart or the carts uptown also.
Yes, sir.
Things going on. When you see it, I'm talking to Kevin Davis, the CEO, founder of Klub Kart Tours, and it's been a great conversation. It's been I can't wait to take a ride on one of the carts. I think we may be doing something on Saturday.
Yeah, I can't wait to give you the experience.
Right. And we look forward to having you back. We look forward to following you. There's some things, the Harlem Community News, at WHCR. There's some other outlets that you might want to take advantage of to let people know what you're doing. But the important thing is that you're here, brother. You're
Yes,
here,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
and you, from Matt and some of the conversations we've had, you have developed a good relationship with a lot of good people, which is always important to do. Wishing you all of the success. Give the listeners again your website and how they might be able to reach you, which is right there, clubkarttours.com.
Yes, sir.
And you can go there and you can see the different vehicles, the different. You have your tour packages also on that site for
Yes, sir.
people.
Yes, sir. You can book tours with Club Car Tours right now, and our slogan is "Why walk when you can ride?"
Well, that's an interesting slogan, especially when you get, the seniors. They in the hot weather, they tend to not like
Yeah,
doing a
yeah,
lot of
yeah,
walking.
yeah, yeah,
And as
yeah,
I
yeah.
said, in Harlem alone, not to mention New York, but in Harlem alone, there's so many things that are spread out that one might be able to take advantage of.
Yes,
And
sir. Yes, sir.
this is a very kind of personal way of doing that, because you can't always see things in a bus or in a cab or all of that. So this will be an interesting experience for many people, I'm sure. And whatever we can do to help push that along, of course, we'll do that. But
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, sir.
welcome. We look forward to your helping you in your success, and your whole operation is something that I believe will be not only helpful to Harlem, but all of the places, all of the venues that you plan to go to. It
Yes,
will,
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Harlem is, New York is, if you can't make it here, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Absolutely, absolutely. And we set the trend for the rest of the world.
Which is, and we've been doing that. We just haven't received the credit for it, except for now. That's why it's so good to have a Soul City, or maybe you might even have your script put into Matt can run these shows, so maybe we have a series or something. Who knows? All things are possible when you have vision. Thank you, Kevin. I
Oh,
appreciate you.
thank you from the bottom of our heart and from Club Car Tours. Can't wait to give you the experience.
Well, I can't wait to experience it, and you'll be back, I'm sure. And there's some other venues that we have that
Yes, sir.
make sure
Whenever
that.
you invite me, I'm here.
Okay. Well, again, Kevin Davis, the CEO, founder of Club Kart Tours. Interesting. Something that I believe is going to take off literally as we in this whole idea of electronic cars and the like. So please give Kevin a call, or go to the website and find out how you might be able to take advantage of what he's doing. I believe we're going to do some riding around uh, Harlem on Saturday. So if you see the cart, just give Kevin a shout out and let him know that you saw it on Urbanology, the Art of War. We are moving into, as I had mentioned before, the Harlem Week time frame. It will be actually the actual first live event will start on the 13th, and it will then have a number of different in person and on virtual events, ending on Harlem Day, which is the 21st. That will be the 48th year, I believe. Sometimes I lose count, but about the 48th year of of this celebration, which was the foundation of the Harlem tourism concept industry, as it may be called. So stay tuned. We'll start to have a lot more information about what's taking place during this year. We have a lot of interesting activities that will take us into this 48th year. Also, want to let people know we are looking at going to Senegal in December. Actually, the next show next week, we'll make the announcement here on the Soul City show about the December trip, which will be a wonderful thing. And actually, we are actually starting to look at planning for June 2023 for the Senegalese Jazz Festival. That's something that we're starting to talk about. Lastly, but not least, the Tourism Board now has an extension location in Senegal. And we'll give you the address if you're interested in going to Senegal. You can't go with us, but you want to have some place to stay and see some things. And if it's just 2 or 3 of you, we will be able to accommodate you in Dakar, Senegal now. So things are moving on. We hope to actually start doing some things in Ghana and later on in 2023. So bringing Africans to Africa and African Americans and Caribbean Americans becoming aware of the wonderful opportunities that lay there. Awakening the sleeping giant, the diaspora, is one of the things that we'll be focused on, and you'll hear a lot more about that. I'd like to thank Matt McCoy and the team for Soul City for giving us another venue opportunity to talk, and we'll see you next week. Thank you.
This is Kier Rogers, and you're listening to Urbanology with my dad, Tony Rogers, on WHCR 90.3 FM New York.
Urbanology.